Right. Let's just let a couple more people in here who are waiting. All right. Denton, are you ready?
Ready. Hi, everybody. You see me okay?
Hello.
All right, well, welcome to Tips and Tools Tuesday. I'm really excited about tonight's training because when we're entering one of my most favorite seasons in Mary Kay, and that is the holiday season. I actually joined my business December 12th, almost 12 years ago. So I just have a bias towards this season. I believe in what we do in Mary Kay, and this is one of the most amazing times to be in the business, and you're here at the right time, in the right place. So Mari will be training tonight on the holiday pop-up experience. The holiday pop-up experience. This is something new that we have completely, we got a great idea from an amazing national director in Colombia, Martha Dabong, and really expanded it here for us during COVID-19 and found that people love shopping virtually. Go figure. Like QVC has been around forever and Amazon and all these things, right? People love shopping from their phones. So we're going to bring this to you and show you how you can simply work it from your phone and have your first big sales event for the holiday season from the ease of our pop-up guide. So Mari's going to be teaching you that. But before we do this, we will be splitting up at the very end consultants that you have already done a pop-up shop. And for those that have not done one before, we want to make sure that we're adding value to all of you because there are some new elements to the pop-up shop right now. Even if you've done it 15 times, there are some new parts to it because holidays are a little bit different. So get excited for that. So just if you have been to a pop-up before, participated in one, held one, please at the end, you're gonna let us know for the breakout room so we can customize your final tips for you. But before we go there, next Tuesday, there will be no tips and tools next Tuesday. And then the following week, on the 10th, we are announcing to you something exciting. Drum roll, please. So we're going to bring to you something exciting. We want to make sure that we add value to you, that we are helping you maximize your time, maximizing our worth to you. So we're going to be combining efforts. And on Tuesdays will be not just training, but also we're going to be having two types of training: new consultant boot camp, a 6-week new consultant boot camp in one breakout room. Trainings for consultants in the other room will be holiday focused training and beyond. Many cool trainings. And also skincare class. 3 rooms happening at one time. 3 things happening at one time. So talk about, you can literally be in the training room and have a guest in the other room watching the skincare class. Are you guys excited? Do you guys love this? Talk about, I want to see your reaction. I want to see people's faces. I want to see you, this is good, right? So this does mean that you can ask your sales director what shift that creates in her schedule, because I know Ari is going to be moving our marketing events that are right now currently on Thursday for Wednesday nights. So as with that said, we're going to be shifting. So I know for my girls, and Mari, you have skincare on Wednesday too. We'll be moving them, combining them to Tuesday. So Janet, Mari, and myself will be teaching and alternating classes and trainings. And we're excited. Get some high fives out there. I'm excited.
Hey.
So hope that excites you as we kick it off. So next week, no training because we want to make sure that you're out there voting on election day. And so make sure that's a priority. And then the week after, we come together for our awesome new schedule in November. All right, with that said, Mari, let's teach them how to have a fabulous holiday pop-up shop to make a lot of money at the virtual pop-up shop. Let's do it.
I love it. Okay, well, oh my goodness. It's so funny to think that something that was not a part of my business just 5 months ago or 6 months ago is such a huge part of it now, and something I'm so excited about. I love pop-ups, and I'm excited to teach you today. We're going to talk about the who, what, when, how, the what. And like Christine said, at the very end, if you are a brand new consultant who has never participated in a pop-up shop, know that you will go into a breakout room. We're going to be kind of giving you some specific training just for you. And then for our more seasoned consultants, you're going to stay here if you've done a pop-up shop before. And we're going to give you a little bit more like a next level training for the pop-up, okay? So we want to start off by telling you why. Why is this holiday pop-up shop so important? And it's going to be a big part of your strategy, right? So we're going to tell you why it's so important. We're going to tell you what a pink pop-up is and what it is not. You know, when it is, how to invite, who to invite, and just kind of all the logistics. So first things first, if you don't already have it on your calendar, we want to make sure you are saving the date. If you are in Christine and mine's units, it is going to be November 7th. If you are in Janet's unit, your pop-up is on November 14th. And so depending on who your director is, you want to be saving the date for that day. Our groups, Christine and I have already created our group since ours is first. And after tonight, they will be available for you to start adding your guests. We're also going to talk about possibly doing your own pop-up shop. If you are more seasoned. So what is a pink pop-up? So pink pop-up it's an opportunity to sell. It's an opportunity to sell in a QVC, really quick style way. It is an opportunity for your customers to plug in, to learn awesome beauty tips, to be exposed to a fun environment, to create excitement. And in particular, this holiday pop-up shop is an opportunity for your customers to get exposed to holiday shopping through Mary Kay from the convenience of their home. I have to tell you, it's so funny because, you know, one of my best customers, I was talking to her after my first pop-up shop and I said, how did you enjoy it? And she said, that is the most fun I've ever had shopping. Like, she loved it. And she's gone to attended every single one of my pop-ups because she's like, I would not miss it. That is the most fun I have shopping. It's so easy. She's like, it is so simple. I don't even have to think about stuff. You explain it to me. So we just want you to know that your customers are going to love being a part of the pink pop-up. It is so much fun. I love doing it. And they love being a part of it. So that's basically what a pink pop-up is, okay? It's 8 hours. It's from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And we provide specials. And I don't know if we're going to do a condensed one or not yet. I haven't, but for now, we're just going to say 10 to 6. And we provide specials throughout those 8 hours. Every hour, there's a new product special, and we typically do bonuses in between as well. There's drawings, there's giveaways, there's raffles, there's the Wheel of Names. It is an exciting, exciting time. And in particular, the platform that we use for this is WhatsApp. And the reason why is because it's very, very simple. And they can have it on their phone. You know, they can set the notifications so that just when things are posted, they can check it. And one of the greatest parts about WhatsApp is that it gives us the opportunity to mute the line prior to the actual event. So we'll be providing some content, especially for this holiday pop-up shop leading up to it, but no one will be able to comment in the event until the day of. There are some specific rules. You know, obviously the main purpose of the pop-up shop is for people to express that they want to purchase something. And the great thing about this platform is that it makes it super simple. They can reply to the sets that they love. They reply that they want it. Really, really fun and easy. For those of you that are new, we're going to be showing you a video on how that works exactly in the breakout room. But we want to get to the real meat and potatoes of the important part of this, which is, why is this holiday pop-up shop so important? Okay. And Christine's going to talk a little bit about what people are looking for this holiday season, but we want you to know that it is strategic and smart for you to have a lot of guests attending your pink pop-up right now. This is a huge part of our strategy for having a big, big holiday selling season. This is a huge part of the strategy for having a $10,000 cash Christmas. We want you to get excited. I want to give you a little anecdote because I think sometimes we don't know what to expect. But the reality is that when we work the numbers do not lie. And my very first pink pop-up in May, I was excited. I didn't know what to expect. And I had about 50 guests inside my group in the pink pop-up. And that day I sold over $3,000, you guys, that pink pop-up. And I was blown away. And the numbers have been pretty consistent ever since. And so just know that on average, people will spend about $100 in a pink pop-up. Okay, that's the average person. Of course, some will spend less, some will spend more, but the average is about $100. Why is that exciting? That's exciting because that means that if you have, I had 50 people, about half purchased, and so 27 purchased, and so I had about $3,000 in sales that day. So know that not everybody that you invite to be a part of the group is going to be checking it all day. A lot of it is follow-up afterwards too, but about half the people you invite will get in your group. About half of those that do attend will purchase. And so the strategy behind this is that this can be your biggest selling day of the holiday season if you allow it to be. So Christine, why don't you tell them a little bit about what people are looking for in specific right now during COVID, during this holiday selling season? Wait.
Muted, sorry.
There you go.
I think now, hold on, my computer is being crazy. Here we go. So I think now what Nathan Moore said to us, where we add value, is that, people want right now personalized service. There can be a lot of shopping online this holiday season, and you've already probably heard it. We heard it directly from the Retail Association meeting that shipping is going to be delayed, supply is low, and people are just like, they're shopping earlier than usual. I know myself, I'm the person that was always shopping like at the very, very, very end. Now I'm like, if I don't find my gifts now, I'm gonna I feel like I'm running out. The stores don't really have a lot. Have you gone to the mall lately? What's going on? So this gives you a leverage. Are you presenting yourself like you have a leverage? People are looking for personalization. They're looking for convenience, you guys. Like, people want right now convenience. If you can wrap them, put something together for them, or help them make decisions, and select the perfect gift for somebody, help them think, you're taking one thing off their plate, because people are just like, they're scrambling to make decisions, but they don't even know what they want, right? So I love that, people are looking for quality service, convenience, and great products. And we have got that all nailed down. So that's for sure. And you want to tell them that, like, I want to add value to you. We'll go into scripts in a moment here, but I'm going to show you how you can say, I want to add value to you, and what kind of value that is, that you are adding to them, like that concierge service that their Amazon box is not going to get, that they can return and change a color that they're not going to get, and how it's a gift that keeps on giving, because these gifts can come with continued gifts and continued services for those people, like a little gift card for that aunt that she just got the beautiful 12 days of faves with your business card. So if she likes the sample, she can follow up with you. If she wants to reorder, she's got a $10 coupon. So it's a gift that keeps on giving too. And also, again, you can't put a price tag on that personalization. I can't get enough of that personalization, customization. You're their go-to girl. Delivery, all of it. It's you. So thank you, Mari. I wanted scripts. Let me know if I want to do that now or later. Oh, you're muted.
So obviously we know why, and I love that Christine mentioned all those things. And I know that in the top director chat, they talked a lot about kind of the strategy behind all this, and Ari does that too in Cash Christmas. But one of the things that we want to teach you or kind of coach you on is, number one, who you're going to be inviting to this pink pop-up, and then of course, spend the most of the time on the how. How is it that you're going to be inviting your guests to participate? Because that becomes really, really important. So first, who are you inviting? Have you created your pink pop-up list? You probably haven't, because maybe you didn't know about it, or for whatever reason you haven't created your list yet. But I wanted to show you, I brought out my pink pop-up notebook, because I actually have created a notebook for each of the pop-ups, because I am becoming more organized every single day. And and when something's not your gifting, you have to really work on it. So I get those dollar notebooks, and I've created my list, and it makes it really simple. I put one name per line, and I just check her name off, and I highlight her name when she says yes. And then I actually make my list of when people say yes, and I have their names, and I highlight them when they buy. Okay, the reason why is because it makes it really simple for me to just go through, and I'm like, oh, who bought that pink pop-up? And I look at it, and those are the first people I start to invite with. So who are you going to invite? Okay, so let's talk about, we're going to spend a little bit more time on this for our newer girls, but for those of you that have already done pink pop-ups, you're going to start with your customers. You're going to start with those new people that you facialed recently. And you're also going to invite family and friends. So you want to invite everyone that you know to be a part of this. Crafting your list, don't discriminate. I think I've been so surprised. Some of the people I least expected to be big buyers or, big spenders are the ones that have loved the pop-up scenario the most. And I always just remind myself that I am providing a great service to them, that I'm making it convenient for them, that she doesn't even have to leave her house. She can be doing this while she's watching her kid play baseball. She can be running errands, going to the grocery store, doing laundry, decorating for Christmas. I don't care what she's doing. She literally can be doing anything and still do this. And so there is no limit to how many people you can have or invite. You want to have as many possible. The idea is the more that you have, obviously the better and the higher your sales will be. The other thing is that larger groups create more excitement and momentum. So for those of you that have been a part of the Pink Pop-Up, you know that there's always when somebody starts saying, I want it, all of a sudden everybody wants it. And so it creates momentum. Larger groups create that momentum in the Pink Pop-Up. So number one challenge for you today is to create your list. You cannot go to sleep tonight, okay, until you make your list. And so I know that that's the first thing that I am doing tonight. I am making my list for my Pink Pop-Up. And so who's going to be on your list? Who are you going to help buy some gifts for? Okay, so that's challenge number one. So who are you inviting? And we're going to get one of the things that I wanted to mention to you, and I'm going to mention this briefly, and we're going to go more into it, I think, a little bit later, is when you're thinking of who you're going to invite, also think about influential women in your life. Those women, okay, so just stop for a minute and just think with me, okay? Think of that friend or family member that she's going to plan a last minute, okay, maybe during normal times, okay? She's going to plan a last minute Friday Halloween gathering, and 25 girls are going to show up because that's just who she is, right? She loves to gather. She's influential. People listen to her. They want to be a part of everything she does. We all know at least one person like that, at least. Well, that woman might be a great person to incentivize to help you get additional guests for your Pink Pop-Up. So we're going to elaborate a little bit more on that, but just be thinking of who are those people on your list. As you go through your list, write a star next to the ones that are influential, okay? So that's who. And then we're going to talk about how to invite, the script. So Christine is going to help us with this, and Janet's also going to chime in because we've got some actual technical things of how you can invite people to be really smart with your time. So Christine, take it away and let's share those scripts.
There we go. Muted, unmuted.
You're good.
So
I can hear you.
What I think is important to notice that we're preparing much earlier than usual. So the pop-up, the fun thing has been last minute invitations, it's impromptu. Well, in the beginning of COVID, people had nothing to do, so that was good. People are definitely busier. I noticed last week people were traveling a lot. I was shocked who was in Orlando. The whole world was in Orlando last weekend. Apparently my brother included. So everybody's in Orlando. So with that said, I realized that, we need to plan in advance a little bit more, which is why we're talking about this right now. So many of you that used to before invite Thursday, Friday before the pop-up shop, too late. You're starting now, right? You're starting now. And we'll talk about the different systems you can use to invite, like your Scipio. But let me tell you something that for this is important enough to put your voice on it. Not just your voice, a voice note, and Janet's gonna give you a system for a great voice memo and voice note through Scipio. But I'm personally calling people. I started today, and I can call you. I tell you, I called, my goal is 10 a day. Because I have a really big PCP list. I called 10, and they were all because these are people that either have been on one or never been on one. And they're like, oh, absolutely, count me in. They were excited because I'm like, listen, these are not just deals for I'm gonna help you with your gift giving services, personalization, customization, deals, but I know you wanna look good this holiday season too, and I've got you, so I want you in there for those people who've already been in one. And so again, so my first message is call them. call them, and Jana's going to give you this time saver tip with Scipio, what you can do instead of that. But I'm taking the time to call them. They don't answer. I want them to hear my voice, not just a text message, which Janet will go into. But here's some words. Here's what I want. Gather the message concepts. We're going to send you a text message that you can use that's more generic and simple because you can't put all these words into a text. But I also want you to think that the conversation, whether it's a voice note, a voice memo, Scipio, a call, I want you to hear what I'm trying to say to people. As I call them, I want them to know, like, to think, look, hey, shopping is, I'm addressing the need. Shopping is different this year, but I've got you. Shopping is going to be not the norm, but I'm here to save the day. I'm going to add value to you. I am different than what's out there. I'm different because of my concierge service. I'm different because, I'm not saying it like that, but these are the things we're different with, right? So hear the message. Something give or take along the lines of, hey, Ale, listen, as the holidays are approaching, I know we're all looking for like the perfect gift and the perfect look for this holiday season. I know shopping looks different. I'm going to put it out there. Shopping looks different this year and we're all shopping online. So I really want to add value to you this holiday season with my concierge service and my personalization of gifts. I'm having my first ever holiday pop-up Saturday the 7th, and I want to include you. So I'm having my first ever holiday pop-up. I've done them before, but it's never been a holiday one, right? And I want to include you. So, and I kind of briefly, if they haven't been to one, I can say if they've been to one before, like, hey, it's like the last time, but even better with all of our new winter and holiday deals and specials, and you can even get things for you and the people you love. But if they've never been to one, I want them, like Mari said, to understand that this is simple. They're not going to just stop their day and be glued to their phone for the next 7 hours. And people sometimes say no quickly because they don't understand what you're asking of them. So make sure that you're explaining yourself well, because I found myself when they were listening, or if I was rushed in my message, that they did not understand and grasp. And they're like, oh no, I'm busy that day. I'm like, you're going to be at the beach. You can just have your phone next to you. Like, right? It's not like you have to be glued to your phone. I'm understanding this is going to be simple. So I tell them, listen, it's a 1-day virtual sales event. It's super easy. Every hour I post a special, I post a deal, and we're even doing raffles through the day. And don't be glued to your phone. Just have notifications on. And when I post something, you're the first to know and you can get your hands on it before it sells out. So keeping it I'm explaining it simply, like, hey, listen, it's a 1-day special holiday sales event where it's in a WhatsApp group. It's super easy. All you do is stay tuned to your notifications. And as you're doing your life, as you're hanging out with your kids, as you're in your pool, as you're decorating for Thanksgiving, whatever you're doing, you can just tune in and check into the specials and deals in that day. So can I include you and send you the link? There has to be an invitation. Can I send you the link? Is a text message shorter than that? Yes, like super scripted, which is why you want to put a voice to it so they know what it is. With that said, I would say, so my first option would be call. If they don't call, they don't answer, then we're going to show you how you can use Scipio to do a call with a voice note, or Jen's going to skip right through that and show you how you can call and leave a voice message right away. And then I want you to show you the quick text that you can use. It's super easy, but again, it goes with a voice message of some sort. And then it's all about the reminders. I'm inviting this week. Next week is the build-up. You better believe that I'm going to remind them. If they haven't accepted my invitation, like early next week, I'm sending a message saying, hey, wanted to make sure you got my invitation. There's still time to include you. Can I send you the link? Can I add you? And if it's somebody who's been a customer that's already been on previous pop-ups, by the way, girls, I'm just like, Mari, what was that phrase you used, which I really like? If they've been to several pop-ups and they've already been to them, they're not responding for some reason.
I'm giving them exclusive access because I don't want them to miss out.
We're giving you exclusive access. We're just adding them. We're going to add them already. They've already been to one. But if they've never been to one, you want them to know what they're getting into, because the one thing you don't want is people to be like in the group that you added and not know what the heck they're part of. And then before you know it, like right when there's excitement, Saturday morning at 10 a.m., they start leaving the chat, leaving the group. Anna left the group. Sonia left the group. You don't want that to kill your energy and momentum. And that happens if they don't know what they're part of and you add them without asking. So you do want to ask them and include them. But if they've been to several of your pop-up shops and they've been like, yeah, girl, add me. They've been to like all of them and they're just not answering. You can let them know, girl, you're my VIP group. I've got you. I want you to miss out. You're in, So, and then the day before, I send them a reminder. So excited for tomorrow, 24 hours to go. Set your notifications to receive notifications from me, or set your, so they can pay attention. Because the last thing you want somebody at 4 o'clock, oh, I missed the whole day. They can go back if they're in the group, but you don't want them to miss the whole day and have to then miss out and go back. So, Janet, you have an easier option for us. Janet's going to fast forward for you how you can use Scipio and skip the calls for those busy women out there, because they don't always answer your phone call. Janet, take it away with some easy tips and tools with Scipio.
Awesome. I know there was a few questions of what is Scipio. So Scipio is,
You.
There we go.
Okay. I don't see you still, I see me.
There we go. Okay, so Scipio is basically a platform that you can use to follow up with your customers, contact your customers, text your customers. And if you have the option of that you pay, because this is not with a free one, right? So if you have the free Scipio, you have 250 contacts that you can include, and you have 100 scheduled messages that you can have. So if you pay for your Scipio, one of the features is that you can do something called a ringless voicemail. And so I love this feature because you can just basically record a message. Obviously, you make it very generic. So I usually start with, hi, sweetie, this is your beauty consultant, Janet, and I'm so excited because I wanted to invite you. And I go ahead and leave it just like I would a regular voicemail, okay? So make sure you play it back so it sounds real, doesn't sound like it's recorded, because they don't know it's recorded. It's gonna ring one time on their phone, and it's just gonna go straight to their voicemail. It's gonna look like they didn't pick up their phone on time, or they had bad reception, and so it went straight to voicemail, okay? So that's why it's so important to always do that follow-up text with them. But for those of you that are seasoned and have large amounts of customers, this is an easy way. Or if you're just really uber busy and you're like, you know what, I want to take advantage of this pop-up, but I really won't have the time to attach my voice and call every single person. Well, you can just record this one message and shoot it out there to all of your customers. And so for those of you that have Scipio, I'll show you where you have to go for that feature. Let me see. Okay, share. I may have to. Okay, so once you get on Scipio, do you guys see the Scipio one? Yeah, okay. Once you get on Scipio, once you log in, on this little circle right here, you're gonna click right here, and it says ringless voicemail, right there. And once you get into that screen, it's gonna take you right here, and you can just record and start recording, and you can just record your message. And that's it. So you can see my pop-up and my pink bazaar that are there already, okay? And then it's that simple. And then when you do a message, you're just gonna, it has that feature, okay? So when I create a message, I'm gonna go here, and I can go ahead and attach right here my ringless voicemail. And it's that simple, okay? And you can choose your contacts, okay? I think that's it, right? Did you want me to share anything else?
I think that's perfect. So you guys, you have the option. I know that you have the option of what's easy. For many of you out there have like, the time it will take you to set up your Scipio is worth your time because you may not have the opportunity to be making those calls. Can you guys see me okay?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't see anybody else. Okay, there it is. So I just want to make sure that you guys can see me. So yeah, so the time that you take to make those calls for many of you may not be realistic, and the fact that they may not even answer the first call, you can do that, so if you have the time, personal call is the way to go. If you have time to set up your Scipio, it's going to be much easier that way. But the key is just having these conversations. Okay, so we had a couple questions. Yes, we have a text message. We actually can put it in the chat right now. So Mari's going to continue, and I'm going to put that text in the chat, Mari, so you guys can see it handy. The text is really short and brief. You can add more to it, so we'll send that out to you right now. I'll put it in the chat.
Yes. So okay, so we basically have shared with you now all of the things that you need, which is, number one, the number one thing you can do right now, tonight, is create your list of who you're going to invite. And then of course, start getting those phone calls, those messages out. Like Christine said, the earlier, the better. And using, multiple methods. I know we had some questions on there of, what are the different ways that you can send out a message? I will this time I'm going to be actually picking up the phone and calling customers, but I love the ringless voicemail option. The voice text option on your phone, text messages. I send out an email and I record a quick video of myself inviting people to the pink pop-up, and I send it because remember, anytime they can see you or hear you, you're gonna up your chances of them participating. You can also post that video in your VIP customer page, which we talked about as well a couple weeks ago. And so I love posting that video on there. It's like it's one of my last ditch efforts to get people on. And I always get some customers last minute that are excited to add on. And one of the things that what Christine mentioned about, if you have guests that have, customers that have come on multiple times to the pink pop-ups, that have already experienced it, that would want to be a part of it, adding them, right, to the group. The reason why that's really strategic is because I've had quite a few times where they're like, I didn't see your message until today. Or they come into the group like 3 days late. And so just being smart, we all know who those people that we can add to the group are. So who you're inviting, what you're saying, the different ways that you're communicating all this. We want to give you some time now in your breakout sessions to really kind of ask questions. So we're going to go ahead and, yes,
let's not forget the shopping list, the wish list. Yes. So what's going to make this different, you guys, in the previous pop-up shops is that people go into these pop-up shops typically to buy for themselves. So we want to encourage that, but we also want them to be prepared mentally to be shopping for other people on their list. And if you don't prepare them for that, they go to your pop-up shop, like they can't make a decision that fast to think, who's on my list? Who to shop for? So you're going to prepare them in advance with a shopping guide, like, hey, who do you have to shop for? Here's some suggestions, like here's a shopping, like Mari gave a great example.
I'm going to share the script. I'm going to share it right now. So it's going to look much cuter than this because I haven't finished it yet. But this is just an idea, okay? Show them the Amazon one, Christine. So we've always done shopping lists for our in-person events, but we're going to do this for our virtual events too. So Christine and I both got the Amazon catalog, and we both thought the same thing.
So you all got it, and there's like a little like shopping, make a list, check it twice on there, and it makes them think, like, as I'm scrolling through here, who do I want to buy for? Who do I want to buy for? So getting them in the mindset already of not just who do I need to buy for, but even like, hey, like I've had many husbands message me. My wife sent me her wish list. They could even make their wish list and send it to their husband and say, text my beauty consultant, I need all of these 5 things for Christmas, put it under my tree. So you can also do that too. Like, yes, Mercy, a memory jogger. So you want them to already go into it knowing, who do I have to shop for? And we're going to be helping you guys by, in each deal is going to say, this would be great for your kids teacher. This would be great for your, your friends, whatever it is. So we're going to be helping prompt these kind of things. But yes, these lists is great.
And so you'll have something that you're going to be able to send to them digitally. We're also, if you participate in the group pop-up, we're going to be posting these things ahead of time, because the main thing is we want them coming in there thinking about who they're already shopping for, okay, that day. The other thing that we are going to have in there is we're going to have a section where they are prompted to shop for themselves, because if other people deserve a gift, you deserve a gift. And so really just getting them excited about, buying gifts, but then also treating themselves. So we've got an invite. Let's show you the invite really cute, because it's so cute. And we're so excited. This is the one for ours next week, and Janet's will be the 14th as well. So, but we're excited for the holiday pink pop-up, and we're definitely, it's going to be a lot of fun.
So real quick, one more thing, you guys, sorry to interrupt. I know some of you have invested in holiday products early on in the month. And some of those items are sold out already. Some of you are invested in those. I maxed out on those 12 days of faves. I bought my hand sanitizers. So if you did not take advantage of those opportunities, we do suggest that you can be in our group to watch and learn and take on, there's going to be a practice group, but that you copy our deals, because we're going to have extra deals in case there's something you don't have your hands on, that you can't get your hands on. Your customer's going to say, well, I want that, and then now you don't have it. So I suggested if you did not invest in those holiday deals, that you're going to have your own, so that you don't feel like, okay, I'm offering my customer this now that is not available at all anymore in Mary Kay, so that you can, but we're going to have extra deals so that it covers and buffers those gaps. Does that make sense? So make sure I cover that well, because I think it's important to know. Some of you, again, I have like a sock of Mint Bliss with socks. I can put that on my pop-up shop, but maybe you don't have that. So you can still sell Mint Bliss and then provide a different sock. But for the things like those little mini hand creams and balms that are sold out, if we have one up, if you do your own, then you can, use the deals that you have available or still in stock and not worry about the things that are sold out. So that's why it's good to know. And you can partner with a sister consultant. You can partner with your recruiter. You can partner, I know some of our teams are doing it for the team, but I challenge you. If you have a list of over 20 people, do your own. And if you definitely don't have all the holiday products, do your own with a friend. Partner with a friend, do it together, one of your sister consultants, because I think it'll be more fun for you that way. But if you have a big list, like I personally have seen that and Marty can tell you too, when I put my customers in with you all, they got lost. I sold less than when I did it on my own, because there's power in numbers, but also power in that exclusivity. And then so just keep that in mind. Talk to your director about the best move for you, of what is best for me. Is my first pop-up shop. Then do it in a group, possibly. If it's not, or at least, or with your recruiter or with your director. If not, we can empower you to teach you how to do it yourself. So that said, talk to your director. We can coach you.
Okay, so we've got about 10 minutes here for our breakout room. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and have you, if you are new and you're gonna be going into you've never done a pop-up shop, I need you to just show me, raise your hand, virtually raise your hand, whatever it might be. We're gonna put you into a room right now. Okay, so Christine, I'm gonna start sending you.
Sure.
Room. Okay, so keep raising your hand. If you've never done a pop-up, keep your hand raised, because I can't see everybody at the same time. So just know I'm looking through. And if I already sent you away, make sure you accept. Okay. Go ahead and let me look through all the rooms. Sorry, guys. Hold on. All right, delete this room. Okay,
there's some names on the chat, so I want to make sure that you're getting them.
No, I don't see those. So if you...
Michelle Martinez is new. Well, like she's never done a pop-up. Pamela Rojas.
Yes, just it might be easier if you read them to me. Go ahead.
Tanico.
Okay.
Pamela. Estefania. These are the ones on the chat. Then we have Michelle Martinez.
I'm going to
Riani. And Jessica with a K.
Yep. Okay. So go ahead and I'm going to open the room and then.
Yeah, Briani and Teresita. Teresita also, if you could put her on the new.
Okay. Perfect. Emily, I'm invited to it though. Just experience the momentum. Okay, Emily, I'm going to put you in the breakout room. Stephanie, I don't see a Stephanie. Sorry. Here we go.
I think it's Estefania, was it?
It's not, yeah, but unless you're under a different name here. So if you are, let me know. I think everybody else is in there. Okay. All right. Everybody else in here, are you good to go? Have you done a pink pop-up before? Anybody that
yes.
now or forever hold your peace? Okay.
Well, Mari, it's Lisa Michelle. I don't know where to put myself because I'm obviously very seasoned, but I've never done one.
Okay, so I'm going to still put you in the new room though, so you can do that.
Just wasn't sure where to put me.
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, let's send you over there. Anybody else want to go to the new one that you've never done one before? Even if you're seasoned, it's totally okay because it's more about the logistics. Okay, so let's start with some questions and also some ideas because we want to give you guys, for those of you that have done a pink pop-up before, obviously, you know, we want to really encourage you, like Christine said, to do your own. You know, if you have enough people to do your own, to absolutely do that. And the other thing I wanted to talk about this, and we didn't want to share this necessarily with people who've never done one before, because it's a harder concept to grasp. But, you know, I mentioned who are the women in your life that are influential, that are influencers, that have, you know, absolutely supported you, or that know a lot of people. You know, one of the reasons that we did that is I said that is because in specific, you can ask your friend to be a hostess within your pink pop-up. What do I mean by that? I will give you a great example. I've had hostess-led pink pop-ups where there's nobody else in there except for the guests that the hostess invited. And that's one option for you as well. You can run multiple pop-up shops in one sitting. It's not hard. But you can also invite your friend to be a hostess within your pink pop-up. So my friend Adriana is one of my biggest supporters. She also just knows so many people. And she has been a hostess within a pink pop-up for me. What do I mean? I offer my hostesses free shopping, just like how we would normally, for hosting a virtual session. And so I will offer her free shopping for helping to, get guests onto my pop-up, or to host one on her own. So let's say someone's like, well, I know about 10 people that might be interested in joining. Well, then I would just have her invite those 10 people to join your pink pop-up. But maybe she says, yeah, you know what? I probably have about like 20, 30 people who would love to be a part of a pink pop-up. Well, she can be a hostess of her own pink pop-up. Why is this great? Because really, this is a way for you to leverage and get referrals. It's about getting new customers. It's about getting those holiday sales, but you're also opening up the market to a ton of new people. Each of those hosted-led pink pop-ups that I've done has led me to 25 to 30 new leads, referrals, women who buy from me who don't have a consultant, who are now interested in booking sessions and who have remained customers. And so this is exciting because you can help them during the holidays, and you can also book them for a virtual session for their own holiday look. And then you can continue to grow that relationship past the holidays as well. But really, it's an amazing opportunity. So as you're thinking of who you're going to be inviting, think of who those women are that are super influential, that could potentially be a hostess within your pink pop-up or of their own pink pop-up. Okay.
Mari, what do you offer them as an incentive? Like, do you do a percentage of the sales of the people they invited, or what do you offer?
I will tell you what I do, and then I will say everybody here is their own individual business owner, and you are allowed to do whatever you like. For me, the easiest thing is to offer her 10% of whatever her guests buy. So my friend Adriana, I sold $1,300 in her pink pop-up. That's $1,300 in sales I wouldn't have made otherwise. And so I offered her $130 in free product. Because I literally did nothing, except post things. And, she spends so much money with me anyway. So I don't mind incentivizing. And from that pink pop-up, I want you to know, already, about half of the women that originally purchased booked with me and held an appointment and bought more. So it was more than worth my while. So that's the easiest thing for me. Like, I like to keep it simple because I don't want to think about a conservative, big math thing. So I just offer a percentage, but you can do whatever you want.
Plus, it gets them to try to invite more people to up the amount that they get for free.
Absolutely.
So Mari,
yeah,
it's Annalisa. I just wanted to make a comment because I've actually done 4 pop-ups, and fortunately enough, they have all been extremely successful, most of which have had close to or over $1,000 in sales. And one of the things that I found that was very helpful for me is that I reach out to my VIP close customers that I can really trust, that genuinely love the products and genuinely want to support me. And I don't necessarily make them a host, what I do is I just have them be prompts in the pop-up shop. So when there's a special or there's a product that's showcased, they'll add comments like, God, I use it. These are the benefits I've experienced. And they're truly speaking of their experience, but they wouldn't necessarily, do it if I didn't say, hey, by the way, just make sure you comment. Because I think when we consultants host a pop-up or a party, in my experience, those people that you're in front of, they're looking at you as a salesperson, regardless. Their initial reaction is you're there to try to sell them products. And then towards they realize that it's more than just that. But I think if you have a hostess or a prompter who is genuinely speaking about the quality of the products, those people are going to believe that person over you. And that has been very helpful to me. And what I have found is you need one or two people to start the comments, and then everybody goes crazy. And my first pop-up was like that. I had a lot of my VIP customers on that particular pop-up, and they just kind of started commenting, oh, the nourishing oil, oh, this, I love this, oh my God, 3D, best makeup remover. And it just literally exploded to the point where I didn't have to make a comment. I didn't have to have any engagement because everybody basically took over, and it was self-guided. And I made I think for that one, $1,300 in sales. It was incredible. So I think if you have someone, one or two people that you can say, hey, while we're in there, if there's a product you use and you enjoy, make sure you comment, share your feedback, because that really makes others thrive on that. And like I said, that has been one of the best things that has helped me be successful in my pop-up shops.
I'm so glad you said that, because I think that third party validation is absolutely super valuable. Like how we were talking about with the VIP group, when your customer does a testimony of the product, when you feature her, absolutely. That is just it validates everything. And also, I would say this, I know that we share with you videos that you can use in your pop-up. However, one of the things that I have found has been really great in my pop-ups, I do this for my individual ones, is if there's a product that we're featuring that I love to use, or even if I don't, I will do a quick video myself of it and share that. So as you're doing your own pink pop-up, don't be nervous to share your video. I remember there was one pop-up that we did all these products. It was under eye corrector and concealer and translucent powder. And then we did the CC cream, and each product kept kind of building on a look. And I did that. I was building my look for them as we went. People loved it because they want to see you. They want to see that kind of, like Annalisa was saying, non-sales side. And so make it fun, make it your own, and really take ownership in this is your event. And give them the information that you want them to have, that you would be interested in having. Because to me, the more educational and informative and fun that you make it, I think one of the benefits of the pink pop-up is that we're not only selling them a product, we're teaching them how to use it. And that's why those videos and those before and afters are really crucial, because my customers have told me, gosh, I feel like I'm back in that face-to-face experience with you because you were showing me how to use the product I just bought. You got me? And one of the things that I love to do is the virtual sessions I book with my customers from the pink pop-ups are really specific to what they bought. I'm just okay, let's do a session and I'll teach you how to use this, and you can invite a couple friends. And so this is going to be a great tool for you to also book people in November and December. Andrea said, would love to learn on how to tips on how your videos and how to make them. Yeah, I honestly, they're not fancy. I'll share them with you. Sometimes I just record them on the spot. I find that the less scripted and the more kind of real they are, the more people like them. So what do you think what about you, Janet? Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I mean, you just literally just record it on your cell phone. Just grab your cell phone, video, record. Obviously, work on the lighting wherever you're doing so that they can see what you're doing, and the angle. That would be my only tip. And if you're speaking, just make sure the audio is good, that you're speaking somewhere that they can hear you. But just like a real recording, that's it. Even if you make a mistake or whatever, just keep rolling with it. Obviously, if it's like too silly and you start laughing at your own self, just pause, re-record, because that happens when you laugh at yourself. But I think people now more than ever are looking for real, like just real live. Yeah.
I love that.
Mari, I have a question. It's Susanna.
Hi.
Hi. I have 7 team members, and I think 2 of them were here in this group, not in this group, in the first one. They've never done a pop-up shop, and they probably don't have all the Christmas, the holiday things, but I do. So do you suggest, because I don't know if I'm going to have 2 little kids. My life is at 1,000 miles an hour. Do you suggest me put all my customers in Christine's and then do my own for the team? Because they're gonna have they don't have all the products that I do.
It might make more sense for them to join. I mean, I think I talked to Christine about that. I would talk to her, and she'll probably be able to tell you more specifically. But it may make more sense for them to. We're also gonna say things like based on availability, because we know that not all of the products are still available, but I would say that might make the most sense, right? If you have them, they don't. So, yeah. Talk to them. They have a good strategy for you. Or Christine.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you.
Forget. You're welcome. I love it.
Mari, it's Elaine. I have a question.
Yes.
Hey, so sorry to backtrack, but I got disconnected right before we went to the breakout room that you sent everybody else to the breakout room. You showed the shopping list. And then I lost internet connection when you said, oh, we're also going to add, and I lost it. Was there something that I missed?
We're gonna give you guys a shopping list, and we're also going to give you like a wish list that you can send to your customers before, so that they can be making their list of who to shop for. And we're gonna add it to the pop-up groups. That's, I think, what I was saying, that we're adding them to the groups. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm sure it's gonna help a lot. Thank you.
Andrea asked, what is the ideal length? And we're going a little long here, I know, so if you have to go, totally okay. But Andrea asked, what's the ideal length on these videos? And I would say probably about a minute. But some videos are gonna be longer. I would say no more than like 3 minutes, or who's gonna watch it? I mean, I'm just being honest with you.
Thank you for sharing that information,
if you send me
Mari.
a video that's longer than 3 minutes, like my live videos sometimes go like 5 to 10 minutes, and I'm just like, I'm sorry this is so long. This is taking forever. But that's live. In a group like that, in a pop-up, if you send a video that's more than 3 minutes, I'm gonna be like, probably not gonna watch it.
Yeah, and I forget, I think it was Ari that had shared that the videos that actually have the most traction are videos that are less than 2 minutes, that are between 1 to 2 minutes. So you may think like you have to say a lot, but if you can keep it to a minute and a half, that's about as much information as you want to give per video. Because if not, people they're not going to sit there and watch it.
And the proof is that the company videos are all between 1 to 2 minutes. And they're professional, so they know what they're doing. So Shirley asks, is there a strategy on the products we combine and how much and how we determine that special price? No, we combine products that we think would be great sets. I mean, we think about what we want to accomplish. We think about what are the trends. We think about who's going to be part of the group. And we try to keep the specials in the 30 to 40s range because we have found. And then we usually have like one pricier set, because we have found that is just like the best price point. So, and we are gonna produce like a ton of set options for you guys, so you guys don't really have to invent anything. We will have plenty of specials for you to pick from, so that both limited edition and non-limited edition, so that you can just choose whatever specials you want, and you don't have to think about it or worry about that.
Mari, it's Elaine again. On the topic of specials, so I know it all depends on your population and the people you invite, but does the one that I had, the pop-up that I had the most sales for my people, it actually was the one, I think it was the very first one, that started off with like a very inexpensive set, like a $22, whatever.
Yeah.
It started getting momentum, and then eventually it went to the 30s and 40s, and then back down to the 20s, and then up to the big set. This last one that we had, I personally, my group didn't get a lot of sales because I think all of them were like in the high 30s and the 40s and the 50s, and there was nothing for like just that girl that's out there for like a $20 budget kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys have any, maybe one or two sets that are in the 20s.
We usually try to have one or two that are in the 20s, and a lot of this last time, I think most of the ones that were in the 20s were the limited edition ones that were like 27, 28. You know, the limited edition ones were actually mostly under $30.
Okay.
And those are great to start for sure, you know, and, you know, I think that we try to make a range of products, right? But we're also trying to keep it so that it's hard to always find, like, it's not that easy to create bundles that are in the 20s because you're talking about products that are, and we also are being conscious of the fact that we don't want to create a discount that is too steep for the average consultant. You know, I personally have learned over the years that sometimes you give away a little bit because you gain back a lot, but as a new consultant or as newer consultants, you know, you don't have to give away the store. In fact, all of this, the holiday sets, I don't know if you guys realized from the last pop-up, none of them were discounted. And I actually sold a ton of them. And none of them had a discount. And they don't know any different, you know. So I discounted some other things to make up for it, you know, like drastic discounts and other things. But you know, we will definitely have a range of sets, like as much as we can create within a reasonable amount. And know too that sometimes when we create a steeper discount, we do it because we want to entice people because it's a great reorder product. Like usually the steeper discounts are on products that have an amazing reorder business because they're going to order from you like in 2 or 3 months again. So we want to give them that incentive. Great question, Pat, about specials for men. We will have specials for men for sure, 100%. At least 2 or 3 of them. Yeah.
Mari, strategy question. As I mentioned, I've had several pop-ups, one back in June, one in July. Definitely plan to re-invite all of those guests to the holiday pop-up. But I did have one at the end of September and one just a week and a half ago. Do you recommend that I reach out to those people as well and leave it be? Like if they choose to attend, great. But if they don't, I completely understand because I literally just, you know, expose them to stuff.
Did you?
Or is it too overwhelming? Is it too much?
Did you share any of the your last one?
Some, little bit, not too much.
I would say that it, one of the reasons we didn't do one now in October was because we knew the November one. I would skip the people you just blitzed in October. And maybe do one later in November. I don't know. What do you think about that, Janet? I think that's a really personal.
I think it would be a great opportunity for you to invite them to be a hostess and they can get some free shopping. That's what I would do because since they already shopped with you, now you can challenge them to have people on and be like, hey, listen, I know you love my last pop-up shop. I would love to give you some free product. All you would have to do is invite, you know, some friends to this one. And anything that they purchase, you're going to get 10%.
Okay.
So I would.
Okay.
That's a great strategy. That's what I would do too. 100%. Okay. So yes. Okay, let's take one more question. Yes.
Yes. So the pop-up shop is next Saturday?
Yeah. It's 10 days from now.
Okay. And there's going to be some holiday, because even I was like, somebody had come to my house because their fridge broke down, so I had to help them. So I just wanted to ask, will the holiday products also be on sale at the same time?
We are going to try to not discount the holiday products.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but they will be part of the pop-up shop.
Yes. And we may discount, we mainly discount holiday products for buying in bulk.
Okay. And are they still available to order online, the holiday products?
Some of them are. Some of them
but not all of them. Yeah.
Not all of them.
And if you're
Okay.
going to offer them, I would say you need to have them. At this point, you need to have them on hand or you need to order them. You can't count on them being available on November 7th because I've seen many situations where consultants are offering product that's not available, and it's not a fun situation to be in. So if you're not able to invest in having them, that's okay, but just know that you're not going to want to offer that because you can't guarantee it's going to be available.
Okay.
November 7th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about the $99 box? So the box is just for 12 days, or it's just a limited thing that's for 12 days that it's been sold?
It's a 12-day gift, so they can open a different box every single day.
Okay. Okay. And it's for the whole season, basically, right?
Yes, they're limited edition. So as soon as they sell out, they're not coming back. So just know that too. So those
are $99 retail, right?
$99 retail. Yes.
Okay.
Mari, when are the specials going to be posted and available?
I mean, as soon as we have them, they'll be available before the pop-up. That's for sure. We're gonna try to get them to you guys by next Thursday. But usually it's Jenny and I that are working on them, and so, and I'm also trying to invite and do everything. So since the specials aren't super crucial for you to know ahead of time, and anybody who's doing their own pop-up, we do a practice the night before on WhatsApp, and all you have to do is literally copy and paste. So you don't, have to think.
So any recommendations on obviously the holiday products, the Mad About Masking, the You Are the Bomb set, but any other specific products that we should have in stock that would apply to this holiday pop-up shop that you would be combining?
Just know that we're not going to put out anything that's not in stock.
Okay.
I don't know yet because I literally haven't even talked to Jenny. We're supposed to be talking this week, and Christine. But no, like one of the things we do is, and we literally up to the night before. That's why we try not to give you guys the sets. We're gonna end in a minute. We try not to give you guys the sets to the last minute because literally last time we took out a set because the Soothing Eye Gel went out of stock the night before. So we will remove a set as soon as we see something's out of stock. So it's going to be mostly things that have been in stock and that haven't been a problem.
Just to kind of prepare in advance to kind of know what's in inventory. I do have some holiday stuff and I'm planning to put in my order for the new stuff.
I know for sure we're going to have something with hand soap and sanitizers. I can guarantee you that because that's probably going to be like the biggest seller of the season. And I know we're going to have most of the limited edition items in a set. Probably, the most common things like mascaras and eye makeup removers, things like that. If we can have them by Friday, we will. We'll aim to have them this Friday so you guys can see. And if you want to stock up on some things, you can. So yeah, that would be, we'll do
awesome.
our best to do that.
That would be great. Yeah, just to be prepared because I've been in situations where, again, I didn't have all the products in inventory. And then there were things that I'm like, okay, when I went to order, it wasn't available. And then you always kind of feel bad that you can't provide, So a lot of times they're understanding but you also
trying to get better about that too, like to make sure that for sure that, and that's one of the things too that I always recommend. You place the orders of the orders you get the day of. Like I stay up till as late as I need to on that Saturday to get these orders in because literally right now things are selling out from one day to the next. So
Mari, real quick, it's Susanna again. The hand soaps, there's a limit of 5. And we've done for the care packages for chemo, we've used the hand soaps for that. So like most of us for Christine's group doesn't have any more limits for the soap.
Yeah.
Is there any way you can consider that for the pop-up?
Yes, we are going to consider that.
Okay.
And we're also they lift the limit. between them.
Remember, if you don't have it, there's so many things you can choose from for the pop-up that if you don't have it, you don't have to show it. Like if you sold all of your hand sanitizers, then you don't have to show that particular special. You can pick and choose if you're doing your own pop-ups.
Yeah, exactly.
So is it a one-time five item limit?
Before
or is it
was unlimited, right? And then now it's like a 5 limit. So no, total of 5. So if you order 5, since they put the limit, they won't let you order more.
Even if it's a separate order next month?
No.
Oh, wow. Oof.
Until they lift it, which we're hoping that by the end of November they will. But I think that they put it in because they're trying to regulate their inventory so they don't get out of stock. So they rather put a limit than go out of stock. So, but the hand sanitizer can also be grouped with a hand cream. It can also be, you know, which is back in stock. So like we're trying, like I said, we're really, and then of course, one of the things is that we always say limited. These are limited quantities. And we'll say there's only 10 available, you know, or you can say there's only 5 available. And, you know, when they're gone, they're gone. That happened with the Panorama, you know, at the beginning when we had the ordering limits. So just, it's similar things to that. And charcoal mask is always going to be on there because it hasn't been out of stock, thank God. So those are, and so we'll try to have as many of the bundles out. They may change, you know, if we get them out early, they may change, but we'll have tons of options. We usually try to put out at least like 15 to 20 options so that you can choose the ones that
perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, ladies, we'll have a powerful night. Any other questions, make sure to ask your sales director. We went really over, but I know it was good. It was great information, and have an awesome night. Bye-bye.